What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, and we've got an amazing interview for you guys where these guys went from creating videos for an empanada company to now applying those concepts, those marketing strategies into building a Clear 30. And I'm going to tell you more about Clear 30 in just a bit, but let's welcome in Thatcher and Hatcher. Where Asher and Thatcher, where is the video? Here we go. You guys are so funny. I can see you guys in the backstage when the video is playing. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the flattering introduction, Steve.
No, you guys have done amazing work. And the way this all happened was I was speaking with Asher a couple of months ago, and he's like, hey, after you hit a certain revenue point, why don't you come on and share that journey? And so you guys is able to do that. And then now we were able to schedule all that stuff. So congratulations, guys. Yeah,
thanks. That was our goal that kept us going. And even just that first meeting with you when you were telling us we originally met about like Indie App Santa, which was just super helpful in terms of getting that original growth. But just, hearing what you were saying about it was just very inspirational and definitely kept us grounded for our point up to here.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Congrats. So I want to tell the audience a little bit about Clear 30. It's a science-based app that helps people take a 30-day break from weed with daily support, symptom relief tools, and accountability. And the thing that I really liked about you guys was you combine your social first marketing and then you built the product. So talk to me about that a little bit.
Yeah, so the building of the product was really interesting. So we're two, 22-year-olds working on this, but we kind of had a secret sauce, which was our co-founder was a 50-something-year-old clinician, clinical psychologist, and top basically addiction specialist in the nation. Mm-hmm. And he came to us with this idea of hey, we want to build out a text program, texting somebody every day while they're taking a break from weed, because he saw this huge problem with all of his data. There's, as weed gets legalized, everyone's getting cannabis use disorder. It's affecting a lot of people and nobody's going to treatment for it. So he saw this big white space in the market and he wanted to really start to help people with it. So we built out this text program together. We were it was really fun. And then we were let's just do an app together. Let's take, some consumer magic and really go deep into that app world, but then apply a rigorous scientific evidence-based magic to it as well, and combine those two worlds for Clear 30.
Yeah, definitely. I think there were probably a lot of mistakes early on, but it was very fun to learn and it's brought us to where we are now. And so we're excited to be here.
All right. Well, you paired this awesome Figma file. You want to get through this?
Ashley?
Yeah, definitely. So, we can run through a little bit about who we are and, I guess, what we're,
let's do it.
Where we're from and everything. So you want to start off?
Yeah. This is us. Look, if you guys hit us up here, we'll have some sauce for you guys. Everything we talk about, we want to help you guys as much as possible. So we'll have some documents showing some of our A/B tests and some things that have worked.
Yep. And also for reference, right? I'm Thatcher, and
that's good. Yes.
Let's not skip.
Okay, let's go. Okay, you're Thatcher.
I'm Thatcher.
Even my mom will get it mixed up sometimes. So no worries. That you guys.
It sounds so close too, which makes it harder.
It's a huge problem. It's probably top 3 problems in the company right now. Fred, he was able to help us secure, lead getting an NIH grant, which is a super exciting thing for the app, which gave us a lot of runway through the SBIR. And then, he even brought it to the White House and did some presenting for them, which was cool.
Yeah. So that's a good, overview of who, what our company looks like in terms of why we're here in the first place. I would like to think that we're a little bit funny and kind of smart and kind of stupid and maybe smoked a little bit too much weed at some point. But, towards the beginning, we really liked different kind of apps. And so from there, we decided that, as Asher said, from the text message program and a lot of guidance from Dr. our other co-founder, we started to build Clear 30, which, as Steve, as you said, is a science-backed program to help people stop smoking weed, very community-based. We have an on-site clinician. Yeah. And from there, we failed. We failed a lot.
What? We thought, oh my gosh, this should be so easy. You make an app and you run TikTok ads and you print money, guys. Yeah. Everyone should do this.
Literally a money printer.
I think we might have saw one LinkedIn post that says, guys, you should make apps. And we thought this was going to be so easy. But then, we put $1 into the ad machine after we made our app, and we only got about 60 cents back, and we're like, what is going on with
that
this?
Face. That made us feel not good. We didn't like feeling that way.
But so, through meeting lots of great people, you know, great mentors,
great
really
podcasts, like
great
the App Masters podcast.
diving into like the whole app ecosystem and really just learning like what it takes to make a good app, what it takes to monetize. We started failing less. So, you know, we went from this quarter, we actually from May to August now, we've 15x star like impressions, 4x star leads, 6x star revenue. And we went from losing 23% after the Apple tax on the money we're spending in May to, you know, making 24.5% on the money we're spending in August, which has allowed us to continue to scale and just put money into the ads machine and get that little carrot stick growth in terms of the ARR. So,
and so from there, we've been able to hit 100K. And I will say also, like, while a lot of maybe what we're going to talk about with the onboarding and ads is a little bit revenue driven, it's not totally like our mission in general and overall is really to help people and help people who are struggling with weed. And we really see people converting as like a proxy for us getting people to buy into the program. We know that the program works. It does cost money to run. We have an on-site clinician. So there's a lot of different parts. And so when we talk about revenue and like ARR and stuff like that, it's not purely from a we want to make money perspective for ourselves, but more so we want to make the product better and be able to get it out to more people and be able to help more people. So just like a little bit of a preface to, you know,
we're not evil money grubbers as much as we like getting our ARR up.
That is it, man. And that's one of the reasons why I say you're running a business, right? Like to help more people, you need to make money and make sure that you go. So you should never feel bad for doing that. We got some good people coming in. Ebrook says best episode incoming right now. Pablo, good to see you. Kevin, good to see you. Michael,
what up,
Jamie,
Michael?
yes, we were running late. Okay, it's H's fault. Okay, right here. It's this guy's fault.
That's okay.
No, H and I are good. Let's go. So you guys are hype, man.
So cool.
The Rap Tech says, love the Apple simplistic native feel. So congrats to you guys on building a really cool UI UX app too.
Yeah, it is
all
native,
right.
But
what's up, Turbo Sleaze?
You got some friends here.
It would be very, very helpful to just in general, like I don't want other people building apps to fall into the same thing that we fell into, which was our big pitfall and why our paid ads flopped was that we didn't build a monetizable app. And we worked so hard on the app building all these features and we weren't really talking to our users. We were just building what we thought they would want. And then when it came to time to download, we couldn't run ads. We couldn't grow. All the people we got in through marketing weren't converting.
Right.
So this was kind of our journey, and this onboarding and these ads was kind of our journey to understand what went wrong there and then fix that.
Yeah. And it is somewhat of a little bit of a double-edged sword in that, like, I think to a certain extent, it has been a little bit helpful that we spent so much time on the product, kind of not even worrying about the monetization because we didn't know what we were doing. And then we ended up with a good product that could kind of stand on its own and, you know, didn't have to rely on that, but definitely was hindering our growth and led to a lot of uphill battles early on that, you know, we've come to learn is probably not how we would approach it a second time around.
I love it, man. Great insight there. Raiden, yeah, most people are on YouTube. Oh, they already love this episode. Matt says, just me and Matt on LinkedIn? Yeah, sorry, Braden. Most people are on YouTube. All right. Let's get into the onboarding stuff because you said that was the broken piece.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I would say we spent like the last, 2, 3, 4 months really just only focused on the onboarding. Like we said before that, we did a lot of work on the product, which made it so that we could kind of have it stand on its own. But the onboarding was really the broken part. It was essentially just like a whole quiz of questions and no reason for people to come in and even pay. And at one point we didn't even have a paywall. So it's like, of course, we're not going to make any money off of that. But yeah, so this is our current whole onboarding in its glory. If people want this Figma as well, if you hit us up on LinkedIn or Twitter, we'll send it to you so you can get the whole onboarding. But I kind of wanted to break down like the top, I would say like 3 A/B tests that we ran when we were doing our onboarding, which I think the biggest one, or not the biggest one, but the top 3 that I think were really important to us was the first one was really diving into the user's pain points and their dream outcomes. So that's something that like we've come to really value a lot in kind of displaying our product and what we can do. I think before we really dove into this, it was really just, the user would answer some questions. We would get an idea of their weed usage, and all this is also integral to like the usage of the app, but we would do all that and then sort of just like restate the facts like, oh, hey, you like using it through Bud versus Cart, and you think that it's impacting your life negatively right now. So it was very much just restating the facts. It was very feature driven as well. It's like, oh, we're going to help you through daily messages, video journaling, stuff like that, of like showing what exactly the app has. And also it was very overwhelming in the beginning. And so this was like, this left side is a little bit more of like our previous onboarding. And so from that, we really tried to improve every aspect of that. And so
Hey, Asher, would you mind zooming in a little bit more?
Yeah. So
yeah, definitely. So the purple slide is a little bit of like, showing what people are kind of what they answered when they first went through the question. So sort of like a spit back page, like, oh, you smoke this much per week, trying to highlight that pain point, not doing a very good job at that. And then from there, kind of highlighting, oh, we have them select their goals. This is where, we can take you, and we're going to do it through these features. We have science-based content, we have support tools, and an accountability buddy. And generally, it definitely wasn't horrible. But from, there were some issues with it. And so from that, we kind of shifted focus and tried to attack each of those individually. And so with that, one of them was just really providing more info to the user rather than just spitting back what they already gave us. So showing them a comparison in terms of how they relate to the people who smoke that are their age. So showing them how much more or less they smoke than people their age, showing them how much money they would spend over the period of a month if they continued their usage like this. And we also shifted a lot more to it being like future driven rather than feature driven. So, showing them, hey, this is what you can reach. And, how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to make it easy to get there. It's been proven by a ton of people. We're going to help you in the early days. And so really showing them what that life could be like after quitting weed rather than saying, hey, we're going to give you daily messages. And the last part, I think, is making it more narrative. So, there are different slides where it's literally just words saying, this is where we're going to take you. This is where, you were before, instead of just throwing it all at them at once, like, having a little bit more time with it. And, the goal isn't to get people through the onboarding as quick as possible. It's to keep them engaged and make it more of a conversation and narrative flowing.
One thing, just to back up on that a little, of the importance of onboarding is, I know you might have seen like just the general industry data, but then even us looking at our data, like people make the decision of whether they want to pay for your app or go all in within the first 5 minutes. It's not like they'll use it for a few days and then decide. And a lot of founders, they, are messing with their app, they're building features, and they neglect the first 5 minutes. You should, like, as a rule, I think 1-to-1, you should put as much time into the first 5 minutes alone as the entire rest of the app. So what we did as well was back up and look at things from a sales perspective. Like, we took sales courses, we thought about these things, and really just digging in psychologically. What are your pain points? What are you uncomfortable with your life? Like, making you admit this stuff to yourself, and then painting a picture of where you want to get to, and then telling you, Clear 30 fills that gap from where you are, those pain points, to your dream outcomes, I think can be very, very helpful.
So were there questions right before this, Asher?
Yeah, there were. So there were definitely questions like before it, though. It kind of starts off asking them about their goals, what their name is. At the very bottom underneath all this, we have the entire onboarding flow. But we asked them about their goals, what they want to do like after Clear 30, what they want to achieve with Clear 30. And then throughout that period, kind of reaffirm some of those things. But I would say that the part that was just shown is I would say the meat of our onboarding narratively and persuasion wise is really showing them, okay, we got this information on you from you, and kind of want to present it in a way that is very clear and shows you how our product can help you better your life generally. I think that, in a lot of sales, it's like some people approach it as like, hey, you want this thing, like, let me convince you why you want this thing. Whereas like for us, a lot of it was like, okay, let's actually figure out what their problems are, like really being a problem finder and figuring out, okay, where do you have issues in your life? What do you want to improve? And how can we actually help you do that? And what can we do to help you do that?
I think this is the best application. I know Russell, but I think Brunson is his name. He talked about like the dream outcome in one of his books, The Traffic Secrets. And I don't know if you guys adopted that from him, but I really liked the philosophy, and it's a great example of pain point and leading to the dream outcome. So
we really, one thing we did as well was we like broke down how we think users might perceive value. We use this thing called like the value equation. We can also send that later, but just thinking about showing off dream outcome and then making it clear that they're likely to achieve their dream outcome. And then also showing them that it's going to not require as much effort and sacrifice as they think to get there. And there will be less time delay. And you can see this even with guys like Cal AI. They'll consistently remind people, hey, you're going to reach your dream outcome faster than you think you might. People lose weight in the first few days, in the first few weeks. And I think there is something to be said for looking at, the whole industry, looking at the people who do it best, the people who are converting. Cal AI were converting Ahead, Quitter, and kind of modeling, not like making your own, but seeing what works and watching podcasts like yours, and even talking to people like Jacob Rushfin, who are like onboarding specialists. Like we booked a whole call and he just roasted our onboarding.
But it was super helpful. Like,
but it's super helpful to just keep learning and pulling all these things, and you'll be able to make something that converts.
Well, Turbo Sleaze loves your app. He says Clear 30 was so helpful in helping me and my circle reduce our unnecessary weed consumption. The gamification was intuitive and enticing.
Oh, we appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Turbo Sleeves.
We sent this to some users that we've been testing back and forth
Yeah.
with.
Oh, that's amazing, man. And then Michael Achman says, I love this run through and journey as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
definitely.
you.
We're
We
just trying
love
to
Michael
share.
Ackerman.
Yeah, we love Michael Ackerman. We're just trying to share. We're just trying to share as much as we can because we messed up a lot. I want other people to not mess up as much, or even if they do, they learn from it, but be able to, kind of get that head start that maybe we didn't have.
Yeah.
Asher, back to your Figma.
Awesome. Yeah. So this is another A/B test we did. This is another reason why I really like this, like tearing down other people's onboardings and seeing what works for them. We have implemented a fair trial policy. So we were getting reviews that are people like the app, but people are uncomfortable. We do an entire, onboarding and then spring it on them. Do you guys want to pay for this? They might feel like their time is wasted. So we were going through onboardings. We saw a heads onboarding and we saw something that was like, hey, just so you know, guys, while you're doing the onboarding, this is going to be a paid app. And we were like, at least I was like, dude, this is never going to work. Like, why would you ruin it and tell people that it's going to be paid?
Yeah.
Like, this is like a crazy idea. But then Thatcher was like,
I think it was like, well, we might as well test it. I think that the way that we approached our onboarding was never out of intuition, but more so out of how can we collect data on this? How can we A/B test this and give 50% of our users this page and 50% not? And so after testing that, this was the page that we put in terms of, relating mental clarity is based on whatever goals they selected. So taking their dream outcome. And I think the part that works really well about this page is anchoring it to a certain price of something that they're used to.
Anchoring it to a pain point.
Yeah, and anchoring it to something that they don't really want to do anymore. So saying, hey, this app is going to cost you the same amount that 2 pre-rolls does, and it's free for you to try early on. So really not saying, hey, be ready to spend money, but more so like, making it clear, yes, this is a paid thing. You can try it for free, but in comparison to other things in your life, like that you want to get rid of, like smoking weed and smoking pre-rolls and stuff like that, it's going to cost less than that, or around the same amount. And actually, like, not only did it decrease the amount of reviews and negative reviews that we're getting, but it actually increased conversion by 3% because it really builds trust with the users. I think that
that's
trust
underrated.
is really important.
I think people think about value, but sometimes just being clear and building up that trust, like we've seen in so many different parts of the app, like just works better.
Yeah, and I would say
I think this is a brilliant screen, Thatcher. Like, honestly, this is great. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, very much appreciate that. Yeah, definitely wasn't, definitely heavy inspiration from ahead. And it definitely could use work as well. Like everything in our onboarding is not final. Like we're still working on it to this day. Like as of today, we're doing more work on like, oh, how do we take how much money they spend into it? But this is just our experience so far. Yeah.
Then we got our third one here of our big three, probably biggest. This is actually our biggest, highest leverage test.
Yep.
And I would urge people, think about the points of highest leverage in the business. I think that paywall is where, a few changes can completely transform your business.
Definitely.
And we saw that for ourselves.
Yeah. And for context as well, this paywall, we have them go through the onboarding, kind of ask them questions, re-articulate their pain point, show them where they can do or where they can be, give them some actual value as well through like personalized feedback. And then they're shown this paywall that kind of explains the free trial policy for Clear 30. The general paywall originally
this is very standard. Yeah.
Yep. Heavy. It's called the Blinkist trial setup. I mean, I'm sure that other people have come on here and talked about it as well. But the idea is that really showing users, hey, today you're just going to sign up for a free trial. In 2 days you're going to be reminded, and in 3 days your billing starts. And it's called the Blinkist trial because it's from an app called Blinkist that did this, and they saw major success in it, and they did so well that Apple actually took it and put it as like best standards on their website.
This it didn't work very well for us. Like we thought, like this one page, right? We want you to try Clear 30 for free. I mean, this stuff works. There were even, like I think Duolingo did 1 million A/B tests and saw that 0.00 was like just people loved clicking on that, and it really felt free to them. But this, we were showing features again in this. We're showing off our app. We had a whole carousel, and we were like, oh, they're gonna download our app. They're gonna want to see.
They love
features.
calendars and checking in.
They love
features.
Groups.
Yeah.
And what we realized after, we were only at 20% conversion on that paywall. We realized, and this is still, an earlier variation. We have a lot of work to do, but when we switched it, and I don't think we have the full screenshot here.
Yeah, they're
but,
down. They're right
here. Oh, here, right?
So it's a scroll. You can scroll through. It's like this is all one page that you can scroll through.
Yeah, and this shows the exact, basically what's going to happen day by day in our program. And one of the kickers is that we have dream outcomes here, like even scientific ones that are interspersed. So, you're seeing the work you're going to be able to do. and then you're going to be able to see, you know, by day 2, your brain starts to reset, your memory starts coming back. So you basically, and we borrowed this from Bible Chat, we saw that they basically showed out what's going to happen throughout the course of your trial.
And I think that there are a couple of reasons that it works. I think one of them is, like we said, like shifting from that feature mindset that I think a lot of founders probably are in, is like they build all these cool features and they want to show them off, but like really people have a different perspective coming in from an Instagram ad. They don't really care. So I think shifting to that future perspective, but also showing that like being realistic about change. Like we can't say that tomorrow you're going to be done with weed forever, because that's not accurate. And people know that that's not accurate. Even if we said that, people wouldn't believe it. I think really showing like, hey, it's going to take 7 days, probably more than that. The app is called Clear 30, but like just showing the first 7 days and being very transparent and kind of building that trust, similar to the fair trial policy slide, I think is really powerful.
Yeah. And this one change that we did had a 50% increase from this. So we were making we had a 20% conversion rate. Yeah. We changed it to this and we had a 30% conversion rate. And like, that's one of the things that can genuinely really change a business. So like I would continue to, you know, optimize your onboarding if you're someone who hasn't, or your paywall specifically, if you're someone who hasn't.
And shout out Superwall as well. Really great product. They have that's how we run all this. It's basically price testing. We can change it out, A/B test all these, super easy to use. So yeah, this is not a paid pod.
Guys, you guys went from that 3-screen prompt, is that what you guys did, and replaced it with it's not about willpower. And then what happens after you hit try for 0, the Apple
we just
changed the first slide, so it's still a 3-slide thing. The opacity is down on the other ones because those stayed the same. The only thing we changed is that first slide that people are going to
try 30 days for free. Okay, got it. That's brilliant, man. I love it.
Yeah, one small thing as well is that we have like a one-time offer as well. So if you go right here, Ash, we have like, you know, a lot of apps different have this. Kalei has it. I believe that Quitter has it as well. But, you know, if they go to try and purchase and then decide not to do it, we give them a sort of one-time offer and discount to be like, hey, we still want you to use this, and showing them that. So that's been something cool that we've implemented as well.
Got it. Love it. Yeah. This is brilliant.
So that's like the overall of like the onboarding flow. Yeah, below is our whole onboarding. And then also like just our general approaches. Like after going through this for a couple months, I would say how our approach has been going through onboarding is definitely, like Asher said, talking to experts like Jacob Rushfin, Sebastian Steff. He does more ad marketing type side of things. So doing that, and then also being able to look at other onboardings as well, and really seeing like what works with other onboardings like Ahead and Quitter, and just breaking down those Figmas. And then also talking to your users and collecting data on them. So like at first we weren't even collecting data, but this is something that we implemented like a week ago, and we have a ton of responses. And the idea is that when a user goes to delete the app, there's a pop-up asking them not to delete the app. And so there are a lot of different apps that do this with like, oh, maybe you get a discount, maybe you just submit feedback. But we kind of like decided to combine those two and say, you can have a whole free subscription to this app if you fill out this survey. And we now have a ton of responses coming into this survey from people specifically who didn't go through, like who went through the onboarding and didn't like that it was paid or didn't complete on the paywall. So it's the exact cohort of people that we want to get information from to continue to improve your onboarding. And the survey itself definitely needs work as well. I mean, like that's something that, you know, we have to constantly be improving the questions, but definitely a really good source that we sort of like stumbled upon to get data and user feedback on your onboarding.
I love it. All right. I'm gonna go through this. I don't even know how to say that. Okay. I feel like your onboarding will help me improve mine. And then Michael, he loves you guys. those fonts are they customs? Lovely rounded.
The fonts, maybe the 30. The 30 is like a logo. Yeah, the 30 is like a custom font. Everything else is Lexend though, for our in-app stuff.
I think he was digging the it's not about willpower and all the other stuff that you guys got going on too.
I heard, yeah. That's all Lexend. We're
a Lexend company.
A Lexend, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Nice. I love it. Okay. Mike L says, was it always paid onboarding right off the bat, or did it develop into a paid program?
See, this is something we wanted to bring up. We were freemium for a while. Actually, yeah, like we were freemium up until like the last maybe 4 or 5 months, and just wasn't working. And then like lots of other apps we've seen, when we made that switch and we flipped it, we actually were talking with another app founder, and he's like, you guys are idiots. Like, how dare you make a freemium app? Like, it's never gonna work. And we're like, oh, okay, we'll try it. And then we tried it, and everything, like so many other stories, just completely shot up. And then we're like, okay, now let's just iterate our onboarding so much. This is how to make money. We kind of figured it out.
Yep.
In the end, we would love to go back to freemium in some way, shape, or form. Like, I feel like, we're giving up a lot of growth in certain ways by having this paid model. And part of our goal is, figuring out ways to balance the experience to give out more and more value without just hard paywalling everything.
Definitely. And we also want to do that as well with people who maybe don't even want to purchase our app, but being able to provide value even to the people who end up not using our app. So like being able to give people like a meditation pack for if they don't have the money to afford our app, being able to give them meditations for free where they can use it whenever they want, or like, a supplement finder where they can select things and find supplements that might help them. So our goal is not, it's not like, oh, hard paywall is really good because we get a ton of money. Like,
it's good.
Ideally, everyone
right
would
now.
use this forever.
Yeah.
For right now, in terms of how much we're growing and what we need to sustain ourselves, it is important. But yeah, like you said, in the future, hopefully we don't even have to do a paywall. We can make money some other way.
No, I love the hard paywall. And especially with apps like this and the way you guys have sort of done it with this, I would add this. I love this, especially as a balance with the hard paywall too. Yeah. You're like, hey, don't delete. Just give me some feedback and we'll give it to you for free. So I really love that.
Yeah.
All right. Ollie,
cool.
We're not even done yet. What do you guys think? We're not even done yet, right? We haven't gotten to the ad side of things. Ollie. All right. Best onboarding, best app. There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ethan.
Right. Best onboarding. All right.
All right. Let's get into the ad side of things.
Oh, shoot. Nice.
Cool.
All right. We're still live. We were getting some.
We were getting a little
choppy.
Oh,
we're good.
No, we're good.
Looks like we're back. Okay, awesome. So these are some stuff that's worked for us in ads. Really interesting. Like TikTok ads and Meta ads are just so different in like the the people that like them, which ones perform well. It's just been shocking to me. This is one that worked very well. We've learned skits can work very well with the caveat that you need to show the app. Sometimes, I'm a natural comedian in a way, slightly less funny than a natural comedian, but I still like to make lots of jokes, and I can get lost in the actual skit of things and forget that I'm actually making an advertisement.
Yeah.
So I think, just blatantly showing the ad no matter what and doing it. This is one of my dad where he's talking in a Gen Z lingo and he's asking me like, yo, bro, get off the Benjamin, dude. That one did very well. Having a girl always works better than having me for some reason. I'm not sure. I've been trying to pin this one. I think I might have to move to Turkey and get some, facial reconstruction, but I'm not sure if it's ugly. But showing an app, having a girl works very well. I've been looking for already viral videos in our niche, and we've been doing that a lot. So even just looking up, we went through the niche, what's been viral, and a lot of these Stitch videos were doing very well. And then we found already viral Stitch videos, and we just, take this. It's a guy talking about living life that's not dependent on weed, and then I just, talk about that and just go into a response to that. So it's you're already shielded by that virality, and you can just build off. The hook.
Like that.
Yeah, I would say one thing as well that we've noticed is that the authenticity goes a really long way. Like there are ones where maybe, we're acting a little bit more and it's kind of maybe a little bit clear that we're putting on a character. And those seem to not perform as well as like ones like this where we're stitching videos and Asher is just talking blatantly to the camera about his experience. And it comes off as very authentic because it is authentic. Like we're not making things up. It's all very real. And I think that people really connect to that rather than saying like, the skits do work well, especially if it's done well. But, definitely just like not necessarily putting on a character all the time. That authenticity can really shine through and people really notice that.
Yeah.
Hey, Asher, are these skits, are they running as ads or are you just posting them as organic? What are you guys doing?
Posting them on organic, seeing how they do, and then running like the favorite ones as ads. And then we'll track basically if they're working well. But we have we're running a mix of organic and paid ads. Some of the more like less converting ones and more just value giving ones will just be straight organic.
Okay, got it.
And then types here. So people really like we've learned people really like self-quantification. And this is something a lot of apps have in their onboarding. And even like you could see Sebastian Steff, one of these marketers was telling me about, the astrology app. I don't know if you've seen it. That's been like blowing up in the it's like, hey, you're this type or this type. And people love this sort of thing in the onboarding. So just talking about, hey, like building kind of the lore of like, these are the cannabis use patterns. Are you a first thing smoker, a creative spark seeker? And then diving in and just keep hammering, seeing what people are talking about in the comments and seeing which ones people say they are. And then making videos specifically for these niches can help grab different people. So that has all been really interesting on the TikTok side.
Oh, I love that.
I will say also like we do it to a certain extent in our onboarding where we're like comparing their like usage amount to the average person their age. We don't do it as in depth of like saying, hey, this is the kind of weed smoker that you are, but is definitely something that we're, you know, thinking about A/B testing in the future.
Yeah.
And while there are a little bit less intent, like if we told people to come use our app because it's a quiz, they come in with a little bit less intent than if we say, hey, come use our app if you need to stop smoking weed. And so like the percentage of people who convert is a little bit lower, but you know, as we improve our onboarding and, you know, just make it better and convincing them, we can bring in more of those less intent people as it kind of gets better.
Can we get back to the types, the 8 cannabis use? Is that an ad? Where was this?
So this is on our TikTok. We just ran it as an ad, and it's a carousel. So people can, there's like different pictures, and then at the end is a call to action. And then we've been making we've been making organic content and paid ads targeting these types and talking about them. And this is something we picked up from one of our competitors. We won't say, but like looking at people say like Meta Ads library, where you're seeing people are running type ads, and they feel like the call to action to a quiz works better, like sometimes than you know, a call to action. Like just like a foot in the door, just starting little and then convincing them from there versus asking this big ask of quit weed or take a break all at once.
I love it. Did you guys know that there was this 8 patterns, or was that doc?
No, I just made it up.
Okay, all right. I love it. Thanks for being honest.
We made it up, but at the same time, we have, you know, dedicated the last year and a half to our life of talking to people who are smoking weed all day, every single day, browsing.
So it's based
we put in, you know, 10,000 hours of reps of just diving into this world, so it wasn't too hard.
I love this comment. I'm an adult and I don't drink. Leave me alone. This is my way.
No,
I'm an adult that doesn't drink. Are you that type of smoker?
No, and this is something we do deal with on TikTok. Like, there's so much backlash to people being told, you know, like stops because of, you know, there's so much history of the government just being like complete jerks and like putting people in jail for smoking weed, that like there's a lot of emotion around this. In the end, we're just trying to help people, but it's very hard to convey that in every single piece of content, that we're not anti-weed. We don't think it's bad. We just want to help the people who are struggling.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, it is what it is. On Instagram,
thanks for being honest, Asher, because I loved it too. I loved it. Really? I was like, was it Dr. Fred? Nope, it was just
a lot of our stuff in app is actually by Dr. Fred that we did make up. A lot has to go through him.
It's very clinical. The ads is a little bit different.
Yeah, the ads are a little bit less clinical.
The app is very evidence based.
Yeah, I love it.
On Instagram, we found more serious stuff, interviews, having people's faces just work a lot more, having less, like, you can just pull off a lot of lazy stuff, kind of like this, of like, you know, on TikTok, people, I think, expect a slightly higher bar of quality on Instagram. They like videos, they like engagement.
Yeah, and that human connection as well, of being like, oh, this is another human telling me about their life and it applies to my life, rather than like, oh, haha, funny video, I like this.
Yeah, so we have like skits too, and then one thing was interesting, testimonials. We have user interviews, and every once in a while we'll have a user who's in New York, and we'll just be like, hey, can we pay you a little bit of money to go and film you talking about the app? And, you know, testimonials, just like in all advertising, just works very well. So that's worked on Instagram.
Yeah.
None of these are AI. I mean, I guess you're going to get to AI, but the ones that you showed off so far, are they all just like real humans?
So yes, we tested some AI in terms of if we have a bunch of different niches and we have like one video and we want different hooks, and we're like, you know, someone for a drug test, an old person, a young person, and we test like the AI video of somebody. I'm very and I do think there's a lot of opportunity for AI ads. I think it does. People can tell the BS as of right now, 2025. And I think for me, I haven't seen the AI ads perform as well in the way that we've been doing it with AI humans, because I think it erodes a lot of trust. And for something like this, where it's like you're trusting someone to change your life and you're putting your health in their hands, I think, you know, you need that trust to be there versus another app.
Right? It's not just like a fun music app where it's like, oh, here's a fun game made with AI. It's like, okay, cool, I'm entertained by this. It's like, this is a real problem that people are having in their life, and they want to feel seen and understood, and not like, you know, we're just making videos of AI people.
But trust me, we've tried.
How are you guys finding these, you know, having a girl versus you, Asher? Like, how are you finding these people?
So, I just like, you know, go to my friends and I'll be like, hey, can I pay you $30 for me to just put this girl, she's a friend. I just, brought her to my front yard. I had her just stand there and then took a bunch of her videos of her pointing in the sky and just like say it, like doing this stuff. And then I'll later fill in like, oh, what words do I want? What hooks do I want? And I just have a ton of B-roll of her.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's it. Huh?
Us filming ourselves as well. Like this is like Asher's dad. Asher's in the video. I'm in the video. Like, very much like grassroots, which I think also can lead to more trust as well.
And that's another thing which helps. I think it helps when the same people who are marketing are the people working on product and the people working on the app. Because this is when we talked about our user demographic data, like we use that data not just to sell people, but like on the app and why they should convert, and not just to make their experience better, but to understand our customer and who we're marketing to. So we break down, the stuff they're telling us, and we correlate that to conversion. So what users are converting into the app, what triggers do they have? What are their goals? So we know our users very well in terms of like most volume and most conversion, that we know that people are seeking mental clarity. They're looking for control over weed. And we know that those are the people we should be talking to. So we double down on, our actual conversion metrics and our metrics from that onboarding.
Yeah, I would say like at the very least, like through your onboarding, if you're running ads and not necessarily getting a 1-to-1, maybe you're getting like 0.5 to 1 or something like that. Like there's still value to be gotten from it other than like cash flow, whether that's like information from your users, seeing how your onboard is going, collecting data from them, seeing where to put things. So like no matter, A/B testing different things and seeing how they convert. So just because you might not be getting 1-to-1 immediately, it doesn't mean you're necessarily, doing horribly, because you are kind of failing, but you get to learn a lot from those failures and learn a lot from that data and be able to apply it for the future. So I think that it is definitely that takes a lot of work and a lot of iterations to go through. And it's not just gonna be like, oh, unless you've done it before, it's not gonna be like, oh, snap, boom, cool onboarding. Now I get 2-to-1 ad spend. But definitely something to learn from everything in it.
This is some of our process here too. Part of what we do is we look at the user demographics. Then we go to the meta ads library and we can, just look at competitors, look at inspiration. We wish we knew about this earlier. And another great thing, this is a tip. If you want, you can get an offshore like graphic designer or just a graphic designer in general for pretty cheap, and just have them all day look through your competitors' meta ads and then make static images for that, which can be really cool. Then we cook up, we make some ads, and then we see which ones win, and then we double down on which ones work. As you can tell, Thatcher is more of the designer but that's generally our process. And then our process for making some of these videos, one of the things that was a big barrier for me is I felt weird making good videos, talking to the screen, seeming like in terms of content. Something that somebody told me, who's really interesting media guy. His name's like Michael Sickan, but he told me that, what he does was take notes. If he has an idea throughout the day, he'll go into the notes app or anything and just record an audio note. Just like, hey, I have this idea for the ad, this. Then he'll put that audio note into a GPT that's trained to speak like him, think like him, and create engaging ads or content. And then, this is what I added onto this, is take that script and then put it in the CapCut teleprompter, record, and then you can edit it later. And it makes the idea to recording process very smooth and very simple. You can put out a volume. Yeah.
One thing that I think I also want to mention that I've just like came to my head while we were doing this is like something that we've seen very successful as well, is being very specific with the hook that we're giving. So like when we're talking about static ads, like you could have a picture of a piece of weed, or something that's performed really well for us is like a picture of like a crack wire, which is like something that, unless you are really a stoner addicted to weed,
you're not going to cut up your Android charger to connect side A to side B
to
charge your cart.
But that's something that like that people who use carts and are addicted to weed like will notice and be like, oh wait, this is something that I don't see in every single video. In addition, like the video call outs of well, of being like, oh, are you someone who smokes weed, versus like, are you someone who wakes up at 3 a.m. in your mom's basement and then you turn on the TV and drink a Red Bull and then decide, oh, it's time to hit my cart, and then I hit it 5 times. Like stretching that out over a long period of time really gets people towards the beginning as well, which is really cool and something that I just remembered.
Thatcher, how did you come up with that hook? Like,
I'd just be talking, to be honest. I mean, some of it's probably being around Asher. He talks a lot as well, but just like just thinking off the top of your head, because I think a lot of it is like, while you should rely on data a ton, like early on, I think really having faith in yourself and your intuition is really important. Like, if you have an idea for something and you know the user base, like we are people that used to smoke weed as well, so we know the experiences that are in that realm as well. But I think a lot of it is just having trust in yourself, and then once you get that user data, building off that.
We had to stop for the app.
Yeah, exactly. early on because we knew what we wanted to make the app
Yeah,
do. Because
we were.
like,
I was
oh.
like smoking weed like every day, and then trying to take a break, and then I'd be like, "All right, I failed. Like this is what we have to fix." And now I haven't smoked in 9 months because of the app, so it's worked on me.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. Jamie says Steve's face so confused. What am I confused about? I love this. There hasn't been a quiet moment. All right, Joseph says, "Hi all. For all onboarding, if you don't figure it out all by yourself, where would you find an expert company to do it for you?"
That's a good question. I think that a lot of what we did is look on YouTube. The Sebastian Steff breaks down a lot of different competitors, and not necessarily competitors, but just in different consumer mobile apps, not only the onboarding, but like different onboarding tricks as well as the marketing side of things. So it's a little bit more well-rounded. I will say Jacob Rushvin, definitely really helpful. I don't remember. I remember you found, was that from a YouTube video or like?
I'd say like just
LinkedIn,
YouTube, maybe? Just continuing to find people that are building stuff. And honestly, if you don't want to build your onboarding, I do think that copying or almost like very quickly copying like some other competitor can kind of 80-20 you the way there, where it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be great, but it's the fastest way to get the most amount of like bang for your buck.
Yeah. And I will say one thing that also is helpful is like actually going and downloading the app and going through the onboarding and noting like what your experience is like, because like, yes, you can look at like the Mira or Figma boards, but you're not really going to get the same like experience or animations or like haptic feedback or like really be able to like, I think understand it to the same extent as you were to actually download the app. So that's something that we did early on, is like actually go through them and like, you know, pretend I am a user who wants to use Wait. What is the Noom app onboarding like? So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. Oh, it's a quiet moment, guys. How do we do that?
Oh,
Uncomfortable. All right. Mike says, have you tested a web to app funnel?
That's an amazing question. Not yet. It's been something that's been on our minds for a really long time. We're partially broke, so we can't really afford many of the web to app SaaSes.
At Web to Wave, if you want to give us a discount, we'll plug everything.
We would love it. We would love to see it work and then be able to shout you guys out. But
I'll
definitely
get
something that we
I'll get a t-shirt that says Web to Wave.
The Web to Wave tattoo, maybe. I don't know. Well, definitely, it's something that's been in our mind and that we want to play into, specifically with like lead magnets as well. It's like, oh, having a drug test calculator. If you need to, you know, figure out, oh, when am I going to pass my drug test? Hey, you need to pass. You will, but here's an app to make it easier. Stuff like that.
And he's been building web apps as well. And like we have features that we want to validate, such as we want to sell supplements. A lot of our users are begging for supplements, and we want to be able to get them supplements, but we don't want to, you know, pass Apple and go through and do all the iterations and testing. And he realized like, I could just whip up a really quick web app and try things out. So I would think about, you know, utilizing the web in that sense as well.
And then you can also use it in Instagram comments. Like you could be like, hey, comment, you know, supplement for like a free supplement finder for how to use it. And that's just providing value and forwarding the brand identity and the brand association that people have with you.
I love it. Well, George was asking about this, and I'll kind of put it back up to the stage, but how are you giving the subscription away when they're giving you feedback? Right here?
Yeah, I don't know. I hope Apple isn't listening to this. Basically, we I guess a little bit more technically, we have our app accepts what's it called, like its own URL schema. So like there's like HTTPS. We have clear30://. If you click on a link like that, it'll open to our app. And basically what we do is in our backend, we have a database of free codes that we have active. And then there's a URL that we give to the users that's like clear30:// code equals whatever. And then when it opens the app, it checks that. And then we kind of manually handle the free to paid in our app. So I know that like with Superwall and a lot of different apps like that, they really push like, hey, just use Superwall to like, oh, if they click on a feature, use the Superwall SDK, and then you can figure out if you give it to them for free or paid. We have like a manual flag in our app that signals if they're free or paid, and then handle, oh, are they unsubscribed? Okay, turn it off. Are they subscribed? Turn it on. And so that way we can like conditionally show them the paywall and unlock the features just through the in-app logic. And so we basically open the app and then check the database to see if it's an active code or not.
And this is all what we allegedly do this. If app store
allegedly. I heard it from somewhere else. That's what I was saying.
If we were to do free codes, is how we do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could do, honestly, George, there's an easy way. If you have a lifetime subscription, you can create promo codes off of that, and you can do it through Apple. So it's not actually that hard.
Oh, that's good. Okay, yeah, that's actually also what we're doing. That was our previous way. Exactly, we're now using the lifetime code thing, is what we said just now.
All right. You want to get into more questions people are coming up with?
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
let's go with our presentation.
Well, let me ask you about the ad side of things. What is your MMP? Are you guys just using the TikTok SDK and the Facebook SDK?
and we adjust. It was kind of difficult at first to get set up. We actually like hired some guy, or at least I did, like on Fiverr, because I'm less technical than him, and he just walked us through getting Adjust all set up. But we really don't like look at analytics very much through Adjust. We're very into, we have a whole we use Amplitude for our revenue tracking, and we have an attribution slide like a lot of other apps that say, where did you come from? Did you come from TikTok, Instagram, etc.? And then we basically correlate, like, how much is a TikTok trial costing us? What's the lifetime value of a TikTok user? What about an Instagram user? And then we adjust our ad money based on what, signals we're getting from that attribution slide.
Yeah. So the MMP is definitely very much for like the setting up conversion campaigns, but not so much used on the data side of things, just because it's kind of wonky. And yet the self-attribution question where it's like, hey, where did you come from? Definitely somewhat skewed depending on like the order.
Yeah, it's just like a proxy, but it works.
Yeah, it works for at least in the short term.
No, I've heard that from others too. I'm trying to find it on your onboarding, but I've heard the same thing from others. Like, it's good enough, and it'll give you some type of indication.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
Right here. Yeah. Oh, this is also the one to the left is also a cool one. The how do you plan to use Clear 30? That's something that we added in so we kind of wanted to be able to show some of the features, but not do it in a way where it's like, hey, look at these features. So we kind of framed our features in a question perspective of saying, hey, what are you planning to use it for? So they can see all the different features. And then we can also get an idea of the users coming in, one, what kind of features they might be interested in using, and what can we, possibly use more in advertisements, or what do we need to improve based on what people want to use coming in. And then additionally, we can use it for testing possible features in the future. So, for example, right now we're running, we are doing some religious-based ads, and we're testing those to see, like, a lot of people who follow a certain religion that religion might not necessarily approve of smoking weed, and so a lot of people want to quit smoking weed because of religion, and so we're able to.
But it's also like it like empowers them. They find it empowering.
Yeah, exactly. So we can kind of test that in that question and be like, hey, are you using it for religious-based guidance? And then we can see if people are interested in that. And so it's like a sort of way to kind of validate possible features in the future.
Oh, love it. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, let's get into some more questions. I like Julia from Sage App says, why partially broke at 100,000? It's ARR, but ad cost too high?
Yeah, so right now, like, we're still, like, in terms of like why we're not like shooting way past it right now. So right now we are figuring out, this is our first time dealing with Apple's like cash flow, so we're trying to figure that out in terms of the payback period. It's just like we're kind of taking a second to recoup and be like, what the heck is going on? How are we going to financially, like, what's the unit economics of it? I do think, in terms of continuing to grow with scale, there are, always roadblocks in terms of like, the meta costs sometimes sporadically going up and down. So what we're doing right now is we're looking at basically how we collect money from our users, what we can do, and then we're looking, in terms of upsells and what we can do there. So, we're experimenting with supplements, we're experimenting with higher touch therapy support. So, we're kind of taking this break right now to figure out what that next bigger thing is.
All right, Michael, that's a great question. How do you efficiently make your TikTok videos? Video takes so much time. Any tips on creating efficient pipeline?
Yeah, so I would say balancing volume and then also quality is really important. I got sucked into personally, like, trying to think about, oh my God, I'm trying to make as many videos as possible. This is going to be great. And I realized, like, I was just printing out crap, and, the algorithm was treating it as such. I think that, I wouldn't even think in terms of speed. I would just think in terms of reps. I think like volume will solve everything. So if you just, are building, like, making videos for 8 hours a day, 6 hours a day, you will eventually get very, very quick with it. Yep. I am a personal huge fan of trying like 3 or 4 formats, seeing which one works, and then doubling down on that. But that thing that I shared earlier in terms of just talking to GPT and then recording your voice with the teleprompter, I've been able to, bang out like 3 or 4 videos in an hour with it, which has been much faster than used to take me a day or two to do that.
What about the interview ones, man? Because I know those ones work pretty well. Like, is that hard to? Yeah, how do you go about doing those?
It's scary at first. We're walking around.
Yes.
Hey,
you want to talk about weed? Having cool people is helpful for that. Like, even if you get a friend and you're interested in doing that, like, having more people, but it definitely does take a lot more production time and effort to do. 100%.
But I would say that you don't need as much equipment as you think. I used to think, oh my God, I need this and that and this and that. You can do it with a phone
you
mic.
can use this as a microphone and someone else is filming it, and it's like,
and it's good, and you can be fine. So you could honestly go through and just get as many.
It is a phone mic too.
Yeah, right, exactly, the phone mic, and it works. I think that's part of the authenticity as well. It's like we're not trying to be super high budget, like I think that for different apps it might be different circumstances, but like if we had huge lights and like microphones, it kind of like could create, I believe, a sort of disconnect to people watching the video. Is that like, oh, they're not like me, like they they have all this money and this big fancy thing. I think that like
there's a correlation I found out, which is the more fake equipment you bring to something and the more friends you have with different headphones connecting to different microphones, you will create a swarm. If you go to a major metropolitan area, it will be ridiculous.
Yeah, we set up like, I remember we did interviews. We set up like 2 cardboard boxes. We were going to get a table, but we didn't really have one. So we set up 2 cardboard boxes and then put Weed Talk on them. And we had like a whole bunch of people swarming around wanting to get interviewed off of like us sitting there with cardboard boxes and a really shitty sign. We're like, oh, okay, I guess people are interested in this.
Wow.
So definitely very funny. But yeah, it's not as intimidating. It's intimidating, but it's not as scary when you're in the moment as you might think it is.
That's awesome. That's awesome, guys. Well, Julia from Sage App. Julia, let's do another interview. Let's do an interview. But she said it's a long journey to recoup. Good luck, guys. Definitely recommend digital goods, etc., sold outside of the app for better LTV and more immediate cash on hand. And I think, Julia, if it's okay for me to say this, but if you look at Sage App, they do just that as well.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, Sage App. We're gonna steal your onboarding, Sage.
No, we're not gonna. We're gonna borrow from her.
You're gonna borrow.
Check out her products that she sells in the app.
Thank you, Sage App.
All right. Guys, this is awesome, man. Like really cool stuff. All right. Matthew says, how long do they keep their subscription?
The free subscription, right now it's forever. And it's kind of been that way for a little bit, in terms of
we might have to patch it.
Yeah, we might have to patch it soon. But yeah, if you get a free code, it's valid forever. Unless they like restart the app and then we make the code not valid anymore. But there's no necessary like expiry date that is set up for it. Because we really want people to have access for a while. It's not the biggest thing that we don't make $5 from someone. Like that's not a huge deal to us. It's more so that they have access to it is important.
Another thing that's really cool in terms of getting feedback, but I think very industry specific to us, is we have Julian, who's like a peer support specialist, and he actually texts people throughout their journey. If like it's day 3, he'll check up on them, and he's texting people all day asking about, what are they struggling with, this sort of thing, and he gets all types of information from them. So that's been really cool. But if you have like an app that's motivating people or health thing, you can always think about that. But that's not available to every app.
Yeah.
What software are you guys using? Or is he literally texting from his phone? Because I know you guys asked for it during the onboarding.
Yeah. So we have people sign up with their phone number. We made our own like panel we kind of just vibe coded it to be able to connect to our backend and send out messages through Twilio. So it's all kind of like proprietary, definitely not the most structurally sound. It's not like we're using a SaaS, but I don't know, spent a couple of days putting it together so that we can text people. And it definitely drives up Twilio costs. And that's something that we are figuring out right now as we, that's part of the reason that it's like, oh, why broke at 100K MRR? Well, we spend a lot of money on Twilio per month because we're texting all of our users. But so we're using our kind of like own internal software for that. But there definitely is probably a SaaS that makes it easier.
Julian feature. No, people love Julian. That's like I think like our users sometimes fall in love with Julian, and then that's a problem. But other than that, people really like Julian.
Makes Asher jealous.
I do. Julian I have to go to Turkey and get my plastic surgery.
Julia says, do it. Copy her. All right.
Let's go. We actually will check it out. That's awesome.
All right. Before we get into the jokes and the last app audit, how are you guys on time? You guys go a little bit over?
Sure. Yeah, we're done.
All right. Michael says, any advice on bringing big influencer partners? I heard you had co-founder, subject matter expert. Most influencers that I've touched base with usually just want upfront cash and one-time work.
Yeah, so we were running this for a while. We had, like the similar thing that like Cal AI did, which is just virtual assistants just going through our niche. They would just scroll until their niches, there are For You pages, all of our niche, people trying to quit weed, and then just go through and hit up everybody and be like, hey, you want videos. And if you're doing that sort of volume and you can, reach 1,000 people a week, you'll get some great influencers, some not so good ones. And then it's really going to be like 1 or 2, in our experience, like 1 or 2% of the influencers who make you 99% of your money. There's like a weird power law there. So we had you know, a great. Oh, sorry, I think you're a little frozen, but maybe we could keep talking.
No, yeah,
just
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, so we had a lot of success with, you know, we had some influencers going, hey, this is day 1, day 2, day 3 without weed.
Yep.
I've talked to a lot of people in the industry who have said, you know, they're much bigger fans of paid ads than running influencers at scale, and sometimes it's a lot more paid ads. But I think depending on your industry, if you're in fitness, I might skip out on that because it's super saturated. But if you're doing board games or something like that, where there's a lot more influencers than businesses trying to make money, I would go for it. So I would definitely,
and stronger communities as well. Like board games is probably something that's like, I'm like, oh, people who are into board games probably are more tight knit in the community than like fitness. Like, you know, there are a ton of gyms, but like, you know, there might only be like one board game community in an area. And so if you can get everyone in that community to want to use your app, like they are more likely to share with their friends possibly. So yeah.
But I might skip out on a big influencer if you're just starting, and start with smaller micro ones and build up from there.
Okay. Fred says, Fred, I just use Clear 30 to watch and social to watch videos of that handsome, smart, engaging Dr. Fred.
Yes.
Yeah, Fred is Fred is the reason we're here. It has been such a trip building an app as like two, like, you know, cracked out 22-year-olds like thinking on YouTube all day, and then there's just a clinical psychologist right there being like, hey, like, I like the paywall trick, but is this like scientifically efficacious? And then thinking about just the balance between those two will really build like a great like product in general. So like he's definitely like, you know, brought us very, very far with like all of his leadership and everything.
Yeah, definitely would not be where we are without him. So
Fred's blaze right now. Right?
Yeah, Fred's got to lay off.
Chris says he's a little late to the party, and yes, they are running meta ads, but what are you seeing for cost per trial starts?
Yeah, so it can fluctuate. It actually fluctuates like plus or minus like, you know, 40% per day.
Oh, wow.
I would say they can range from like, you know, $8, $10, and then, you know, sometimes they'll go up to like 20. And or no, wait, I was thinking about trial conversions.
Yeah, per trial for us right now is around like 10-ish. Yeah, 10-ish. It definitely varies per day, and it's all based on like the self-attribution question, I guess, of seeing Instagram like Meta versus TikTok.
But then if we're converting we'll be converting at like 40 or plus % sometimes. So then, you know, we'll be making, you know, our it's $30. So we'll be making like 14, 15 bucks off of a trial. And then it'll cost us like $10. But then sometimes those numbers get very good, down to like $6 per trial.
Yeah. The meta machine is definitely very all over the place. Yeah. Like we've had weeks that are really good and then weeks that are not so good.
We've had to have therapy sessions with our friends who are just like, it's okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my God, dude. I'm glad you
just nightmares about the meta CPA.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely helpful to have other people who like work around us that have been where we are and are a couple months
ahead. The Be Present guys helped us. They have a screen time app called Be Present, and they dealt with the same thing, and they showed us, you know, it's okay.
Are you all in the same location or what?
Yeah, so we're in New York City, and we work in this place called Versi, which is really cool. It's this co-working space, and it's very, very concentrated with like consumer app founders. So there's like lots of apps much bigger than us, all working in New York City there, and lots of events. So we meet a ton of consumer.
Yeah, lots of happy hours.
Superwall is around there too, and they host a ton of happy hours.
Yeah,
nice. Are you guys doing anything for App Promotion Summit in the New York?
We have to.
Yeah,
we didn't plan on it, but we'll be there.
Plan on it, but yeah.
All right, I'm gonna be there, so I'll hit you guys up. And then you can go check it out. But I'll be there. I get in on September 17th, and I've got that whole day free. You guys
chat. Come to Promotion Summit.
Yeah, chat. I love chat.
What about the Revenue Cat event? You guys doing stuff there?
Oh, honestly, we've been a little evented out. We weren't even thinking about it, but honestly, you know, if it's gonna be a party and it's gonna be fun and there's gonna be no weed because we can't smoke that, then
it's company policy. I love it. No, I'd love to check out that co-working space. That'd be awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let's get into some dad jokes, shall we? You guys are too young to be dads. I'm like, hey, you're 22, son's 17. It's very close in age. But anyways, you guys want to start first or you want me to go? Is it combined, Thatcher and Asher? Or you guys got like one each?
Yeah, we got one each, but you can you can run it first.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. All right, I'll go. So we got a 3-way. All right. You guys drink or no?
I drink.
Okay, cool. So we'll play for a beer, all right? When I'm in New York,
we don't smoke weed.
We don't smoke weed.
No weed. Okay. When I'm in New York, we will loser buys. Okay. Let me see. Let me try to try to find one.
This is
all right. All right. Here we go. Guys, what do you call an alligator that's been promoted?
Mm.
All right, ready?
Yeah, I don't know.
A delegator. There you go. A delegator.
Okay.
All right. All right. Who wants to go? Who wants to go next? Asher?
Okay.
Thatcher?
I can run it. I can run it. Okay. All right. So
We're on
mine
screen share?
was no, we're not
No,
on
we
screen
don't
share.
need
You
things.
guys
You want me to do screen share?
No, don't screen share. No, I'm not
Okay.
screen
Yeah.
share.
Yeah. Good.
I just need to reference the joke when I'm looking at it. Okay. So, why did the app get rejected from the App Store?
Why?
Well, it had commitment issues. It kept crashing on the first date.
All right.
Yeah. Knee
All
slapper.
right. First off,
All right, Asher.
mine is inspired a little bit. Well, not really, but a little bit by my shirt. This is Cookie Monster, if you could see, from Sesame Street. All right. What's a ghost's favorite smoothie
What?
flavor? Blueberry.
Give him another one. Give him another one. All right. All you... I love it.
Okay, I got one.
You
I
got
can't-
two? Okay.
I can't stop telling jokes about airports.
Why?
Say it's terminal.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
All right.
All right. Mike says, I roll to the universe, to the next universe. All right. Look, I had the first joke. That was so you, whoever's joke you thought better. S for mine. Asher, you want to say, yep, that's Asher. Thatcher
Yeah.
was, yeah, there you go. So A, S, or T, put it in there. And don't let Asher stop. All right. We won't. All you got to do is vote, and then we'll do a free Indie App Santa promo courtesy of our friends from Web to Wave, the easiest way to build web to app funnels.
Love Web to
Asher's
Wave.
gonna wear a shirt or a tattoo soon. And then arcads.ai. And if you are trying to test different hooks, like Asher says, and you need an AI tool, Arcads AI, it's a really great tool. You can use some of that thing that even Asher said, where you take that script idea, take it through ChatGPT, and then if you're too afraid to put it and put yourself in front of the camera, well, you can have an AI do that as well. All right. AST, iOS developer joke. Okay. That's for you, Thatcher. All right. Cool. Let's get into the app audit and give some feedback. So we've got this audit from, let me pull up the name. Yvonne says, I need help on monetization opportunities. I'm not sure how to start monetizing. When you pick this app, I probably already implemented tip jar. So he's got a fat calculator. You guys got anything from the screenshots that you guys want to highlight? I'll zoom in a little bit for you guys too.
Yeah, I see that it's something, it looks like it's for doctors to keep track of their patients.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how exactly he's advertising it, but if I were him, I would love to, or if I were, a doctor watching this, I would love to know that this is for me, clearly what it does in the ASO. Like, to me, it seems like it's like a calculator or something, but I would want to see myself a dream outcome as a doctor, very big, like calculate, patients fat easier, track patients fat easier, like as a doctor. I want to know who it's for, and I want to know how it can help me instead of, showing the features very quickly.
Yeah, I would say as well, I think that like for this specifically, if it's applying to their profession, like I think that there's a like higher possibility that like they might be more willing to spend money on it because it, could help their career rather than it being like, oh, this is a personal funny photo dog app. Like, no, this is going to help you do better at your job and your career on an every single day basis. And I think that really stressing that, because like I downloaded it and I was like, is this made for me to use? Like, it doesn't really seem like something for me to use. So I think that really calling out who it's made for, you can get super specific for it. I don't think it needs to be made for like, oh, everyone can calculate that. You could literally be like, this is for doctors. Like, I probably wouldn't use that copy, but make it really calling out who it's specifically for, and the fact that it's tied to their profession, I think could be helpful.
Like, okay, get into the app. I didn't even know it was for doctors. So thank you for doing that research for me. All right.
Maybe it's not. I think it is though.
And then steal the Clear 30 onboarding. No, maybe not.
All right, let's get into the app and help them with some monetization.
Awesome. All right, calculator.
I forgot that it was a fat calculator. I think it's worth just mentioning again, but okay. Easily calculate the body fat with your calculator. Okay. Accurate formula. Wait, what does it say? I don't even know what a caliper is. Okay.
No, I think it's like a doctor tool.
I don't love the ad in the product screenshot.
Yeah, true.
Oh, right here. Yeah, I like it. Good find, dude.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
I didn't notice it either. He's got another one too.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it is for a doctor.
Yeah, I think this was something when it first opened up. I kind of didn't even get to use the app, and then it's kind of showing me a paywall.
Yeah.
Which I think originally I was like, I don't know, like why I don't know who would ever like click on this to do it. Like maybe people who are using it for the profession are like, fine, I'll buy it right now and don't even notice the X. But that was something that stood out to me, and I think that also in the review section of the paywall, when I scrolled down before, it put some like 4-star reviews first. It looks like now they're 5-star reviews. I don't know, but there were some 4-star reviews in there that were kind of like highlighting more negative things in the app, and so maybe it's like randomly selected because mine were different. But I don't know. I think that really showcasing the best possible thing.
I think showing it how it can help you achieve your dream outcome would be great. And I think you could spend more time on the onboarding. We tried to show off the features of our app, and we realized people don't care. They don't care what the app is. They care about themselves and what your app can do for them. Yep. So I would love to paint this as, hey, this can make your life easier. Think about status. Other doctors will think, wow, this guy has it all under control. Like really think about these psychological movers rather than the features.
Yeah. And it doesn't even have to be long. Like it doesn't have to be like, 10-minute onboarding. Like this is not a super complicated app. There's not really a whole bunch of reasons to ask a whole bunch of questions. It's not really going to change how the app works. Like you don't need to make it a super long onboarding, but I do think that switching out those features for future driven things and, like you said, like possibly status based things and doctor specific niche references, but I think would be helpful.
I do think great market. And it's, I'm jealous of you that you get to sell to people who have so much money and intent. I think it's great. And so I do think you've picked a good market.
Yeah, and I would even test it with a hard paywall, just like you guys have done too. And I'm okay with removing the X up top because you have this continue with free version. But yeah, totally okay with that too. I love it. Dream outcome is my new favorite expression. Good job, Asher.
Thank you, Blue Classy.
All right. Let's see, calculate. Let's try to calculate. See what happens. Oh, do I have to input stuff? Oh, I didn't know I had to input stuff. Okay. See, I don't know what you guys feel like. I feel like maybe asking for this in the onboarding, like how old are you? Do you know what these inches are? Like, are you ready to?
I think that's really smart. And then, you can have that aha moment on the other side of the paywall. Hey, we have everything calculated. Here's how it's going to help you so much to have everything calculated. It was so easy to get everything in.
Yeah.
And now just pay us and we'll show you.
Yeah. And like, even if you hard paywall it, you could easily because it's like such a, I guess I'll say simple. I don't mean that in a negative way at all, but like, it's a very like easy to use app. It seems like in terms of what it's doing. So like you could easily hard paywall it but allow them to do the core feature on the paywall or like, do part of it, maybe do it once and then be like, okay, you want to keep using it to actually unlock the app and possibly more stuff that'll also help you in your dream outcomes, here you can pay for it. So
providing them value, some sort of little mini value before the paywall would be great with this.
Yeah, I agree.
I would say rewatch this episode, and then every time we say dream outcome, take a shot. There you go.
And you have a really fun time.
Yeah, we'll have a really fun time. All right. Now the most important part. You guys want to, by a score of 9, 8, and 3. All right. In third place with 3, it is yours truly, me. Boom.
Wait, that was really good.
That's actually
I thought it was going to be Asher. Asher's were not that.
All right. So it's between you two. By one vote, the winner is Thatcher. Where's my applause? Yes.
Oh,
that's lit.
No.
The blueberry.
Yeah, the blueberry. To be fair, Asher helped me find and come up with that joke to a certain extent, so he deserves some credit at least. But
it's okay. You always win in life. I've learned that.
Yeah.
Let's pick a winner for the free Indie App Santa promo. We got this. Look at a lot of votes. This is probably the most full board. H is working. You guys put H to work here. All right.
Yeah. And the winner is Brendan.
Brayden said I shouldn't stop. So I'm happy he won.
It's definitely poor calculating person body fat. Yeah, I figure too. All right, fellas.
Congratulations,
Brayden.
Hey guys, Brayden, just email me, steve@appmasters.com, and then we'll hook you up with a free Indie App Santa promo on us. Thatcher, Asher, this was freaking amazing, guys. Congrats. I'm very much impressed by your knowledge at such a young age, and all the tips that you shared with the onboarding and the ad side of things was a phenomenal success. So I'm super excited after this, and I learned so much from you guys. But anything else you guys want to share before we say goodbye?
Just say,
yeah, thank you,
our
Steve.
greatest appreciation. Keep doing what you're doing. I don't
Thanks,
think
bro.
we'd really be near as close as we are without people like you. We got great people on our like board, Alex Mitchell, like other people that we're working with, like Julia, Ethan. Shout out all you guys.
Yep.
But just really like the whole ecosystem of helping people on apps on like YouTube and like you leading that. I think has been really helpful because this is the best time to build anything. Like thanks to channels like this of like actually democratizing and making this knowledge available to everyone.
100%. And if anyone has anything that they want to learn, thank you so much, Michael.
We love you, Michael. We actually love you.
If anyone has like specific information they want to ask from us, like please hit us up on LinkedIn, hit us up on Twitter. We're very open to sharing whatever we have learned because we're not really trying to gatekeep any kind of information or anything like that. Like if you guys need help with something that you think we can help with, hit us up and we're happy to respond.
I love it. Hey, I did find an error on your Figma. You just forgot Steve, and let's move Jacob back, and then let's put
Steve.
Yeah.
And you know what, guys, just do Indiana. It's gonna help you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You actually got our ASO right. We actually hit you up for the ASO, and it's been like we changed it. We shot up. I actually want to like after you did our ASO, I remember looking up, quit weed or something or stop weed, and I had to scroll for years. Wait, hold up. Watch this. This comes with Indie App Santa. Stop weed, tea break, anything like that. You used to have to scroll for years. Now, we're 3. We're just, we're right there. Tea break. We're weed.
Yeah,
we're right there. We're 2 or 3 for almost everything. And there's apps that have had, hundreds of thousands of downloads, been out for years past us, and we've just shot past them.
Yep.
So,
thank you very much.
Look at him. No, thank you guys. No, I was just messing with you guys. Hey, I brought it up because somebody did ask for the Figma. If they're Thatcher and Asher are willing to share all that. So if you just hit them up on Twitter
or please feel free.
All right, fellas. Well, this was it. H, I forget who's on for next week. Help me with this.
So next week we have Mark who has social media app, and he will be talking about a lot of stuff about ads and how he grew his social media apps. And
that's right. So, he's got a cool social media app, and he's going to talk all about that, including his new book as well. Thatcher, Asher, thank you so much for coming on and doing this, man. This was phenomenal. Thank you for putting this amazing Figma board on there as well.
Definitely.
I'm putting my name, even though I'm just kidding.
No,
you did help for real.
No, congrats on your success, man. I look forward to hanging out and having a beer with you.
Sure,
I owe the beer, so
all alcohol and not weed at all. No weed.
You can barely drink, but I'll buy it for you guys.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, guys, join us every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific. I'll see you on the next video.